This is Charlie Parsons for Boxing Social in association with Forged Irish Stout, Empire Fight Store and freebets.com. Delighted to be joined by a man I've known for a long, long time and the new European champion, Mr. Gavin Gwynne. How are you, sir?
Yes. Yeah, all good, but that sounds good. European champ.
Hey,
Yes.
you're gonna ask me to do the intro again just so you can hear it every time.
Yeah, it sounds awesome, but like this is the first interview I've done since being European champion, so it sounds amazing. But and if someone said at the start of the year, you're gonna even box for a European title or be European champion, I would have bit their hand off, like. But yeah, all good.
What's weird is like in a strange way, it feels like a bittersweet year, but I sort of mean that from I know that when I've spoke to you, you've had frustrations at times. Obviously, you were hoping that Matchroom would come through with something. They had options on you after the Woodruff fight, and then that went quiet, and then Queensbury came along. But I suppose all in all, now you look back, you won on a huge card in Cordina Rakimov, and then you
Yeah,
headlined at York Hall to win the European title. That's not a bad
yeah.
12 months, Gavin.
It's not a bad 12 months, but like my career is never been straightforward. Like I can remember going back, winning the Commonwealth title and then not fighting like for a whole year. Like every time I've won a big fight, I've never got a fight after it. Like no one wants to fight me. I'm like, come on, give a boy a break, sort of thing. But it's just boxing. Like I spoke to like Liam Williams as well. We had a good chat when we went up to London. He was like, "But you just got to keep in the gym. You just got to keep focused." Um, and it did pay off for me. I stayed on it. Um, I had a big win in April on the Cordina card. Um, and I had a week off, and then I was supposed to be out in September, but that fell through. So I had a weekend off. It was my missus' 30th birthday. We were supposed to go to Dubai. That got cancelled. I was like, no, I'm staying in the gym. I'm lucky I got a supportive wife. Like many other women would have left me. But yeah, I was just like,
Boxer's
look, I got to
wife is
stay in the gym.
basically a therapist.
Yeah, but like, honest to God, like, I was like, no, I got to stay in the gym just in case some other opportunity comes up. But then, obviously Frank Warren and Queensby uh, offered me a major contract, so I was like, yeah, I'm taking that with. I just had to. It was like a bit of security for myself as well. I got a 2 year deal with them with so many fights in it. And my next year is planned out for me already. So I've never had that. I've never had that. My whole boxing career, I've never had it. So it's good in a way. Yeah, but I'm looking forward to next year already. Like, yeah,
Well, we will sort of go on to what 2024 has, but I suppose take it back to April time. Um, this is sort of going to be in our little in review, sort of over the festive period. Does that
yeah,
feel like a lifetime ago for you as well?
it does. Like, it does really. Obviously, it was a massive card. Like, and I knew I had to perform because going off my last performance with Craig, obviously I had a broken hand. I just didn't perform. Um, and I knew like if I wanted to do something in boxing, like it was all or nothing that night. So like I even said to you in an interview, look, I'm going to do a demolition job on this guy, and I done that. Like, do you know what I mean?
The occasion and everything, I knew how much it meant to you. I remember speaking
Yeah,
the build up and just a reflection on the last fight, having the problems with your hand, but probably being too stubborn of a fighter. You refused to let that first fight opportunity go out of the way.
yeah,
And then I saw how much it meant to you and your missus afterwards. Was that like a
yeah. But I
sort of
just
feeling of
broke
relief?
down. But I like it was a relief in a way. Like, um, and obviously losing my gramp as well. So it was like I don't know. It was just like that was I don't know, it was just an emotional night as well, do you know? It was just like a massive occasion, and I was just like, do you know what? I was like, I need to put on a special performance just for my grand, like, do you know what I mean? And
Good
that's
on.
what it was. Yeah.
He would have been looking down, smiling.
But he would have been so proud, like he would have been so proud, yeah.
Does that sort of, when you go in and you say you're going to do a demolition job and you're as frustrated as you were in the third performance, to then go in and have the performance that you did on such a big
Yeah.
card with such a big Welsh following there, that make it? I suppose it was also actually a Welsh derby. Does that make it that little bit like sweeter?
Oh, 100%. Like I can remember coming out and I was like, I was just so focused. I seen the crowd and I was like, right, they're gonna go off on this now. I was just in the zone. I was just like, I can remember I just fucking stomped down to the ring. I was like, he's having it. He is
McGregor who?
having it.
Conor McGregor who?
Yeah, it was, but I just walked down. I see my own man, give him a fist bump. I was like, I'm gonna wreck this guy.
And then I remember like the summer period was difficult for you,
Yeah,
because obviously you go from such a high, and this is with
yeah,
boxing, like you sort of articulated before. Whenever you've won, it's not always been easy afterwards, right? And this was the same
no,
case. Um, wasn't to be with Matchroom in the end. Obviously I know that sort of you were really hoping something would have materialised, and obviously we'll talk about your deal with Frank Warren and Queensbury in more detail,
yeah.
which is a positive. But at the time, you didn't know about that, right? So it must have been quite frustrating coming off that high and then sort of being back in the dark about everything again.
Yeah, so we got off in a fight in September in Cardiff. Cordina was supposed to box in Cardiff. Obviously, I just think the money just wasn't there for Cordina, and obviously you can't blame him for going over to Monte Carlo and boxing over there. Like, so I didn't have no like bitter thing against Joe or anything like that. But I was just thinking in my head, I was thinking, we'll just have me headline in Cardiff. It'd still sell out. Do you know what I mean? We just have a couple more Welsh boys on it, sell out. Could have boxed for the European title. I was still mandatory for the European title, so but Matchroom didn't want the fight. And then they offered me another fight with a big profile fighter. I accepted the fight. And then they come back and said the fighter didn't want it. So I was like,
You able
well,
to say who
when
that was?
Gary Cully.
Oh,
So yeah, so and then um, I was like, so when am I going to box now? And they were like, oh, we can get you a fight next year. I was like, I may as well just give up boxing and go back to work if that's the case. Do you know what I mean? You can't just box once a year, like so.
cool.
Um, Obviously, Leighton done a fantastic job with me. He's been on the ball since day one. Fair play to him. I can't thank him enough. Like he's changed my life. Yeah, he really has.
He's a
Like
good man, Lee.
he's a good man. He can't do enough for me. Like he's texting me, is anything you need, anything like that, constantly. And he said, right, I'm gonna get on the ball. We'll look at a few other options. So I was like, yeah, no worries. And then he come back with the Queensbury contract and Frank Warren, and I was like, yeah, man, I'm taking that. So the first fight, they said they gave me a European title shot on the Liam Williams and Shiraz card. I was like, yeah, happy days. But then obviously that got changed, and I was headlining a show in New York where I won the British title. So it was I
You
was
never
just like I
wish,
was buzzing.
never wish injuries or postponements or anything on anyone.
No,
It must have been a little bit like of a sweet and cool feeling when you were elevated to that main event slot.
yeah, but first of all, right, I read the text, show was cancelled. I was like, oh nah.
Not
I was like,
again.
oh no way, but and I was like, I opened it up and it was like, oh, Gavin Gwynne now will now headline, and I was like, oh, it was like my stomach done a
You had to
twist.
read one paragraph and then you had to look at the next one.
Yeah, I was just like, oh, thank God for that. But like, yeah, it was a bit of a I don't know. I was saying to my father yesterday, like from going from the motor point or the sold out motor point, and then walking out in the York Hall. I know it's an iconic venue and it's brilliant, and I had loads of fans go up there, but it was a bit of a come down, if I'm quite honest. Going from like an arena fight to back in the small hall shows, like, if I'm quite honest. But I'm so thankful of Queensbury and Frank Warren for getting me my own show, and obviously it was brought forward a day, so it was even better, if I'm quite honest.
One less day of waiting. We all love a little
Yeah, that's
Friday
it.
night fight night as well.
Yeah, yeah,
Um, I suppose then just reflect on the performance itself. Obviously, you are now the European champion. I know just
yeah,
how much that means to you. Um, yeah, I mean, sort of, he was boxing a good game. You would
yeah,
definitely get into him, and then do you sort of want to explain your turn of events? Because we were having a little natter off camera. I mean, I think a lot of people
yeah.
assume that it was a shoulder injury that he retired to, but
Yeah, so obviously the first round he caught me in perfect in my eardrum, so wobbled me. I was like, shit, what's happening there? But he could punch a bit, he could bang. So we knew that before going into the fight. So the game plan was first couple of rounds, try and tire him out, um, and then go to work from like 5, 6 rounds. So I can remember sitting down in the six, and Tony was like, right, start putting your shots together now, start putting more pressure on, and go to work, like try and get him out of it. So everything was going sweet, and I knew I was landing shots on him, and he was slowing down. I thought, oh, lovely, this is all going to plan there. I sat down. Was it the seventh round? I sat down, and Tony's like, right, next round, just take him out. I was like, oh, lovely. So I was so pumped, and then they end up calling me off. I was like, oh no, man. I didn't want to win it that way, but I won, obviously, but I just didn't want to. I wanted to win it in a like a good way, like I won my last fight, sort of
yeah,
thing.
yeah,
Like
yeah.
the referee jumping in and stopping him, or me dropping him and getting him out there. But um, they said he had a shoulder injury, but obviously we went and seen the doctors after, and obviously the interpreter was there, and the doctor said, "Oh, what's my shoulder?" And the interpreter said he was nothing wrong with the shoulder. I was just taking too many shots and I was tired. I was like, so do you know what I mean? You've just robbed me of a have a good stoppage, like. And then obviously commentary was like ripping into me and saying that why am I celebrating over an injury? I'm like, I'm European champion. And when I watched it back, I was thinking, I'm European champion. You're gonna celebrate no matter what.
How
Do you know what I mean?
do you take that into consideration and no, I know obviously like you're your own man and you like focus
Yeah.
on your career and whatever you're doing, but does it bother you that sort of it's almost like, that was your moment?
Oh yeah, 100%. And they took that little bit of, I don't know, that little bit of shine off that moment, sort of thing. The way they were speaking and that, but it's just me being Welsh, probably. That's what it is, and not like I don't think what's his name, Carl Frampton, likes the Tony Bow stable anyway, because I think they wanted the Lee Selby fight, and that fell through and everything else. But yeah, that's what it is, probably.
How do you deal with criticism out of curiosity? Because everyone's subject to it now, and especially in this sort
Yeah,
of social
yeah,
media age, and whether it be from like what you do to what I do, anyone in the sport now is subject to this sort of huge amount of criticism, and for a lot of people, they're not necessarily used to it.
yeah,
How did
yeah.
you sort of not criticism as such, but you get the nastier messages and little bits like that.
Oh yeah, but
Yeah, how do you deal with
I
that?
had thousands. I had thousands of
Mad though,
Italians
isn't it?
just bombarding me. I was thinking, why didn't you just come and support your fella then? And you maybe could have got him off the stool in the last round, like maybe. But obviously, it's social media. You got to take it with a pinch of salt. Like if it's coming off like I don't know, the likes of like Richie Woodall or something like that, you got to take that criticism on and assess what you've done wrong and things like that. And I do that of people I know, sort of thing. But like with people you don't really know and bombarded with stupid messages, you just block them and move on. Like you don't even bother reading
Fuck
them.
'em.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah, fuck them. Like yeah.
Moving forward,
Yeah,
2024.
what's up? The speaker's gone off. I can't hear you. Can you hear me now?
Can you hear me? I can hear you.
Yeah, I can hear you.
I can hear
Sorted
you.
now.
I don't know. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
Moving forward, 2024. You're 33 years of age now, but I feel like that's
yeah,
probably not really a massive like factor for you. You're fit, like I was speaking to you off camera,
yeah,
to stay in the gym. Lots of activity and sort of what's the goal? I know when you set out in this game, like British, Commonwealth, European was always like a
yeah,
dream. And as much as it's been hard at times, you've had your fair share of opportunities, and now you say you've got
yeah.
your next year mapped out. How do you expect it to unfold?
Um, so the plan is obviously in the new year we want like an international title to get me a good ranking with one of the governing bodies. Like, but it's going to be hard for me to win a world title at lightweight. I'm a realist. Like, but if Frank could get me a world title shot, or like I don't know, like even an opportunity, like I'd be over the moon and I'd be a happy man. But like I got like 3 4 years left in the sport because I'm so young, and the way I keep myself, I'm a fit, healthy lad. I'm not out on the piss constantly after fights and things like that. I look after my body. I'm constantly in the gym. Um, I think that will give me like years on my career. Do you know what I mean? I think I can go on until, but my wife won't like it, but she
No, she
just wants
definitely
me to
won't.
retire now. Like she's like, oh, that's enough of that. Just retire now. But I think I got a good like 3 4 years, and I think I'm at my peak now. Like 34, 35, maybe. I think I'll be. I don't know, just pushing on a bit too long. But like Lee Selby said to me, he said, once you've made enough money, get out of the game. But it might keep pulling me back.
It always does, eh? It always does.
Yeah.
I suppose just lastly from me then, this is going out over the festive period. How will you yourself enjoy it? I know that you're a family man.
Yeah.
I love seeing little Arlo, is it, all over your
Yeah.
stories.
Yeah.
I know you've
Yeah.
just done a little trip to Disney.
Yeah.
Just enjoying and relishing as much time as you can with your lovely family.
Yeah. Like, so we're just going to it'll be quiet. Just family and friends sort of thing. Just seeing his little face on Christmas morning light up when Santa's been.
Oh.
Yeah.
Are you
I'm
one of
proper
them
back.
dads who you know, like when the kids open the presents and the dads are like, God, what's he got there? Pretending that or are you, do you, is that you?
I haven't got a clue, but
Oh, that's brilliant.
just my missus just asked me for the money.
Sounds about right.
Yeah, yeah, it'll be. I'm just living a normal life for a couple of weeks. Do you know what I mean?
Good on you.
Not being in camp because I've been in camp since like April. So my wife said to me, it's nice just to be normal couple back. So like I'm gonna enjoy it until the first week of January, and then I'm back on it. Like I'm back in the gym tidy. I'm gonna take over Christmas, obviously get my runs in and things like that. But just being a normal human being and a normal father figure. Yeah, I'm just gonna do that and enjoy Christmas.
Well, Gavin, you're a good man. It's always lovely to speak to you. Thank you
Always
for
good to
joining
speak
us
to you.
on social, and congratulations. An eventful year, a whirlwind at times, probably up and down as your career probably has been over the last 4 years. So nothing new yet.
Yeah.
But I suppose now looking back on it, the two cards that you've been on, it seems pretty successful.
Yeah, it's been awesome, and I've loved every minute there. Years to 2024.
Just a final message to your supporters.
Just massive thank you to each and everyone who continues to support me, and we've got a big next year, so and hopefully a show in Cardiff as well. So bringing it back to Wales.
Gavin Gwynne, top man, and thank you for speaking to us at Boxing Social.
We need to think of a new advert for freebets.com.
Get your best betting offers from freebets.com.
Yeah, that'll do.
The following deals are now live.